as the analyst desk did say, I mean, this is El Clasico as it gets for Onic PH here. And on the other side, it is core Popolin Koopa here. Earlier, it didn't work out as an offlane for Blacklist. They said, you know what, let's turn it around. Let's go ahead and see if he has enough damage. And so far, with the help of the Esmeralda and with the help of Diggy Bombs, that's actually a little bit true. They are exerting their pressure on the map, with again D-Lar just seeing if he can keep them at bay. And so far, so good here for Blacklist. They look like they're formidable. I wonder if that's going to be the case here as we go into the middle parts of the game.
You know, I wonder too, Rockhart. You know why? Okay, first and foremost, in the early minutes of the game, but hold that thought, it looks like DR is going to be in a pinch, forces to tower dive, and you know what? This is a good opportunity for them to just really harass the members of Onic PH. But they are still into the towers, there are no minions per se, and now we are going back to scaling. Now, what I've said earlier, this is the thing that wonders me. In the early seconds of the game, Blacklist International went for the initial strategy of Onic had during game number 2, and that is grouping up together and roaming into one spot. And that's what they did. They stole the resources of Onic, but again, this leaves Onic PH to really scale and space, you know, get as much resources on the other areas of the map. And look at the gold. It's not much, but it shows that they have the advantage. And looking at advantage right here, Rockhart, this is a very risky team fight because both of the sides of the team aren't really, you know, they weren't able to scale enough to have that potential pickup. So I think they just, you know, did some poking and harassing to and fro.
Yeah, I'm a little confused as well by Blacklist. I mean, they're constantly looking for team fights. That's what they're doing. They're constantly looking for targets. They're saying, hey, do you guys want to fight here in the bottom? You guys want to fight on top? It's like they feel like a kid that really wants to get his candy. And somehow they are pressuring the usually very highly efficient gold generation here of Onic PH by stealing away jungles like this. And you know what? Against all odds here, Blacklist looks like they are poised to get something done here on the map.
Maybe because they know, they are aware, like what I've said, that the barricades of Onic PH are really strong. So it's kind of like their go-to by grouping it together. And resource-wise, they are here, and I think Onic will go for the contest. Esmeralda will be securing that. Time's Journey is going to be popped up to avoid any necessary debuffs. But again, this is going to be dispersed. First Blood will be going to Jawhead, transitioning to a different member. But the Thams will retaliate. We're having another pickoff. Low members on the side of Blacklist right here. And we'll be having a double kill. Forces to flicker themselves out back into their turf, but up to what cost? Will they have another pickoff right here? No, they won't, Rockhart. And this is good discipline for the side of Onic PH.
Yeah, and what happened right there only showed what the usual weakness of having a Popolin Koopa on your lineup does, right? What happens is once people like a Uranus, like a Grok dive on you, just pray that you are tanky enough to out sustain the damage output that these monsters are gonna give you. And earlier we saw it didn't happen, so we'll have to wait and see if they're gonna go on a different route, because right now that's a lot of tanky items on the Popolin Koopa, with Esmeralda actually doing a lot of damage for the most part.
Yes, indeed. I agree with you on that. But you know what? This is where we are starting to see the missed opportunity of Blacklist International during the early phases of the game. Like what I've mentioned, they were roaming around together, manpower at play. But what cost? They weren't able to scale enough, and this is where we are seeing Onic PH show some dominance. You could only see the prioritization in terms of resource take, and Onic has the upper hand. But again, Blacklist here won't really go down without a fight, as well as they are slowly, compensating for their loss. But this is also another question that comes to your mind. With that, compensation, do you think that Onic PH would let that happen? Because we are now seeing some, advantageous points right here.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, Wise also not really joining the team fights too much in his own regard, because he's just trying to see if he can get some resources on the map while everyone's just so busy. Aqua, meanwhile, on the Esmeralda, just wants to keep everyone, look at me, look at my big health. That's what he's trying to do. and everyone else just. But somehow, you know what? Blacklist is still in this game pretty much with a pretty
Yes.
minimal gold lead for Onic PH. So Aqua looks really scary on the Esmeralda. That's what they're trying to bank on while everyone just tries to get farmed
Yeah.
up.
Indeed, and Blacklist is in a good position to get this potential turtle take, but the carry will be able to get
Wow.
that steal away from Blacklist. Okay, falling Star Moon onto Fuzaken right here, but Fuzaken is the Grok though. Time Journey will be used to forward that unnecessary debuffs. Going back here, and Grok will be using his Guardian's Barrier to really knock away the members of Blacklist, to leaving them no choice but to disengage.
Yeah, Dilar just getting pestered here a little bit by Koopa,
Uh-huh.
while his master tries to get some farm on the right side jungle. And so far, the mid lane, I don't think anyone's gonna be able to defend that tower for long. But they are gonna try to see if they can get some kills here with a pretty solid falling Star Moon coming in from Aqua. Sees if he can get something again. Dilar not too tanky against someone who just absorbs all of your shielding. Will be forcing the Uranus to back off while once more getting chased by dogs. Dilar just getting not really having a lot of fun here.
True, but this is the prettiness or the beauty of having a well fundamental draft rock card, because they are the ones in control. They are the ones stapling the momentum that Onic is currently giving them, and of course Killer will be forced to use that flicker again. That is minus resources for the side of Blacklist, because that flicker may be essential come the later parts of the game. But going back, I love the transition of Onic from the top to the middle. Time's Journey is going to be used to debuff, but Wise will be using the terrains to go for that second skill. Again, Ako with that shield, but up to what extent? He is pinned down, but Iaknu will be going for the chase. Uranus will be getting the kill onto the top side, middle side, and now transitioning to top. Low health members of Onic, but that's not gonna be enough because they are the ones applying pressure. A forced tower dive will come into play as that beautiful Wise damage will be shown. And Grok just going all out right here. Ladies and gents, this is just a good spice.
Surgical tower dive coming in from Onic PH on the top side. Everyone dying almost at the same time. Pretty beautifully done. And the rest of Onic PH as well. Getting a tower with a lot of mid lane pressure and a turtle to boot. So I would say not too shabby here for the guys in yellow. So far 7-1 against Blacklist International with a 5k gold lead. And Wise, he's having fun. This time around, this guy is getting all the fun with Dilar just, taking all of the hits as a Uranus should do.
Yes, this is what I mentioned earlier about Onic PH knowing who will be getting that space, and that's Wise, and that was demonstrated pretty well executed earlier. And DR, he's just taking all of those damage because he knows he can tank them all up in time for the other members of Onic PH to go to their aid. And this is what we are seeing right now. The pressure is on both the bottom lane and the middle lane. And just looking at this, I like it that Onic PH is also not in a rush, considering that they know that they are aware that they have the dominance.
Yeah, they know they are ahead, and as usual, they will flex it a little bit in the mid lane. Fuzaken right smack dab in the middle. Huge rush into a wall, knocks everyone up, but not going to be that effective to take him down. That's going to be a sacrifice for Fuzaken for basically nothing. And I would say a pretty weird call coming from Onic PH to pull that off. I mean, I'm not sure what he was trying to do there, but Dexstar, a beautifully done time journey, stopped that Grok in his tracks.
Definitely. I mean, the Grok was picked off, but you know what, Rockhart? That left a good opening for Onic, because earlier, this left them, not they lacked the resources already. They wasted a lot of skill sets for that one single pick off earlier. So I think that this is a weird call for both of the teams, because Blacklist could have gotten more. It's just that they weren't in a position to get more.
Resurrecting soon.
I mean, that's true. And there was an opening there where it was going to be a 4v5, and Blacklist didn't really want to go for it just yet. So they want to see if they can get their Riddler into a pretty good position in terms of items, because he's 1-2-1 right now. That's not really going to cut it. And Dexstar, who's the strongest hitter here, Aqua, who's been doing a lot of the heavy lifting in terms of frontlining, but they can't finish people off. they can do a lot of
Mhm.
damage, but they can't execute them properly. Right now, you're gonna see if they can bite into the metallic frame of this Uranus.
Oh.
Fuziken again swapping in a little bit, switch as they say in Japan. But looks like that's not gonna be any problem here for the big duo. Again, Aqua
Oh.
going for. Okay, that was a bit weird. They basically just played around there while Wise went for a solo lord. That was beautiful,
Yes,
almost
yes.
solo lord.
That was a good way to waste your time and to give
Huge
Wise
waste
the
of time.
space. Indeed, and this is now the shot or the call for Onic PH, to just patiently wait for the Lord, apply pressure onto the middle while they disperse to the other lanes. And this is a good thing. This is a good call because ZR is pretty confident in getting all of those damages because he could retaliate that easily. And speaking of easily, another team fight might come into play, Rockhart. Look at that beautiful success in picking offs. That Esmeralda, with her being out of the game board, it only goes to show this leaves a lot of space for the side of Onic PH to just push.
Yeah, looking good. Bottom lane looks like it'll be free as well. Dexstar with a measly time bomb cannot really defend here against the huge forces of Onic.
Oh.
They're on the side, seeing if they can still pad that KDA. Stop them in this tracks, but looks like not gonna be happening. D-Lar going strong. Everyone just going loco. Iakna with the last kill of the game as the win